Have you ever felt a weird knot in your stomach when someone doesn't text you back right away? Or caught yourself doing little things, like over-apologizing or going the extra mile for someone, just to avoid feeling left out? What if these normal habits are actually your wound of rejection whispering beneath the surface of your daily life? Today, together, we'll uncover how this invisible wound might be shaping your relationships, your choices, and even the way you see yourself. And by the end, I'll share how I began to heal mine and invite you to discover your own safe harbor too. Let's begin with a gentle truth. Every single one of us carries emotional wounds. Some are easy to spot, others, like the wound of rejection, hide themselves masterfully within our normal habits and ways of coping. You may have always thought, that's just the way I am. But what if many of these small, everyday actions are your heartless, quiet way of protecting you from a pain you once felt, sometimes years ago, sometimes just last week? We're going to explore 6 of the most common ways this wound shows up in our lives. And the last one, the armor of independence, is often the one we mistake for a strength. So as you listen, be gentle with yourself. This isn't a journey of blame. It's a path toward self-compassion and curiosity. Ready to explore what's really beneath the surface? 1. Fast attach. Why do I get so attached so quickly? Let's start with the first sign, bonding deeply and sometimes too quickly whenever someone new comes into your life. Maybe you find yourself wanting constant contact with a friend you just met, or feeling almost desperate for a new partner's affection before you've really gotten to know them. This is more than just being friendly. Often it's the wound of rejection seeking proof that you belong. It's your heart, parched for acceptance, reaching for every drop of validation it can find. Like stumbling across an oasis in the desert, you drink deeply, afraid the water will vanish as suddenly as it appeared. Sound familiar? You might imagine this as grabbing onto a life raft in stormy seas, hoping it'll keep you afloat, but never really sure if it'll be there in the morning. But here's the twist. This urge to attach quickly often leads to disappointment. Why? Because we skip past slowly getting to know who someone truly is, weaving stories out of hope instead of reality. Have you noticed this in yourself, or maybe someone close to you? Why do you think that sense of urgency shows up, especially when you crave connection the most? 2. Chasing the unavailable. Attracted to those who hold you at arm's length. Let's look at the second sign, feeling irresistibly drawn to people who are just out of reach. Why do unavailable people seem to have such a magnetic pull? Maybe you've noticed that when someone is emotionally distant, busy, or simply inconsistent, your interest in them spikes. Yet when someone truly shows care and makes themselves available, you might quickly lose that spark. If you've found yourself in this push-pull dynamic, it's likely your rejection wound quietly conducting the orchestra of your attractions. Deep down, your heart believes that winning the love of someone who is hard to reach will finally prove your worth. It's as if your mind says, if I can be good enough for them, then maybe I was never truly unworthy in the first place. Let's imagine, it's like trying to unlock a mysterious chest, believing unimaginable treasure waits if only you find the right key. But each turn of the lock brings only more longing, never the acceptance you're seeking. Have you ever chased someone unavailable, only to wonder after all the effort, if what you really wanted was just to feel chosen? Beauty never enough, living with a hidden sense of inadequacy. Here's the third sign, the constant feeling that you not enough, even in spaces where you wanted. Maybe you have a friend group, a loving partner, a workplace where people value you, but there's this low-frequency hum inside insisting it is only a matter of time before they find someone better. You might catch yourself in a marathon of proving, working overtime for a boss, overextending yourself in relationships, or always offering help hoping you'll finally earn your place. Does this sound like you? I know for me, for years I'd say yes to every invitation, not because I wanted to, but because I feared being forgotten or left behind. This hidden sense of inadequacy is like a shadow following you through bright days. No matter how hard you try to outrun it, somehow it's always right there by your side. And here is a question. If you rested, really rested? Would the people who matter still stay? Or is the never enough voice just an echo of wounds from long ago? 4. Self-sabotage, leaving first or never trying at all. Now let's talk about a sneaky pattern. Ending things before they begin, or never reaching for what you want, all in the name of self-protection. Ever notice yourself pulling away just as a friendship deepens, or losing interest in someone the moment they start caring for you? Maybe you hold back from applying to that dream job, telling yourself, why try? They wouldn't want me anyway. This is self-sabotage wearing an armor of false logic. But here's the reality. It is your wound of rejection, anticipating pain and trying to stay in control by leaving first. It is a bit like dropping anchor just as the tide finally turns in your favor, refusing to set sail in case a storm is waiting ahead. Reflect on a recent opportunity you hesitated to pursue. Was it really about readiness or about avoiding the pain of being told no? 5. People-pleasing, the art of shape-shifting for acceptance. Sign number 5. People-pleasing, not just being agreeable, but twisting yourself into knots to ensure you're never the reason someone walks away. You apologize when you're not at fault, agree with opinions that clash with your values, or go out of your way to meet everyone's needs but your own. This is the wound of rejection whispering, if they're happy with you, they'll stay. If not, you'll be left alone. Picture yourself as a chameleon, constantly changing colors to blend in, hoping not to attract notice, but never quite feeling at home anywhere. Ask yourself, when was the last time you did something simply because you wanted to, not because you were afraid of losing someone else's approval? Quick pause. If you're recognizing these patterns and want more tools for healing, subscribe now and join me every week as we walk this journey together. We're building a community, and your story is a vital part of it. And keep watching, because our last sign, the armor of independence, is often the most misunderstood. It might look like strength on the outside, but inside, it carries the old ache of rejection. 6. The armor of independence. I don't need anyone. Now for the final, often surprising sign, radical self-reliance, or the I don't need anyone mindset. On the surface, this looks like resilience. You never ask for help, rarely show vulnerability, and insist that you're better off alone. But underneath, this can be the deepest wound of all. A shield put in place to avoid ever feeling rejected again. Imagine fortifying your heart with towering stone walls. Nothing can get in, but nothing living can truly grow there either. I've walked this path myself, telling others and myself that I was just strong, when in truth, I was terrified of reaching out and facing disappointment. True strength isn't about needing no one. It asks about becoming your own safe harbor and being brave enough to let the right people in. 7. The first step to healing. Awareness and self-compassion. If you recognized yourself in some of these signs, take a deep, gentle breath. Awareness is not just the first step. It's the turning point. Recognize these patterns as relics of your past. You learned them when you had little choice, often as acts of survival. Healing the wound of rejection isn't about never feeling it again. It is about learning to become your own safe harbor. It's about catching yourself in the act and, instead of judgment, offering yourself a new, kinder way forward. Spend time each day practicing tiny acts of self-trust. Say no when you mean it. Take yourself for a walk just because you want to. Write to your younger self and remind them they're always worthy no matter what. And remember, every time you choose genuine self-acceptance over the scramble for approval, you're one step closer to wholeness. The antidote to rejection isn't just found alone, it's here, in community. If this video resonated, drop a comment. Which of these signs have shaped your path most? Share a story, a question, or even just a feeling that surfaced. Your journey can be the compass for someone else feeling lost right now. If you haven't yet, subscribe and turn on notifications. Being part of this space means having gentle reminders and a community of fellow travelers on your journey of healing. To close our circle, these behaviors aren't flaws. They were the silent footprints of where you've been, and the compass of where you were ready to go next. Remember, the same wound that made you sensitive to rejection can make you wiser, more compassionate, and deeply attuned to your own needs. If you'd like to keep exploring, check out the next video on your screen, where we'll dive into the hidden habits that even therapy can miss. Thank you for letting me walk this path with you today. Until next time, be gentle with yourself and keep listening to your inner compass.